Hey everybody, welcome back to this brotmans hobbies build. We are back and I have finished the staining or um, what I started on the last video, and today I'm going to show you what I did, what it looks like, and we will add some stains to the other parts of the walls that I didn't do yet. And I will show you out how I cut the windows out off the spindle and assemble that. I got 3 of them done already. I got the door ready to go. I got the big barn door type style door, and then I got the house door ready to go. Just didn't have any of that assembled because I wanted to show you the second layer and how it's looking far as a the color outlook far and everything and the difference. So let's start with the walls and what I did there, and then we'll go into what I do with the windows and everything like that. So last time we left off with I did a layer of ink, of the alcohol ink and marker, which left it most of the walls looking like this. You have the white little gaps in there and stuff like that from the wood. The two pieces, the two walls here are the end walls, and this is the structure corner posts. This is the corner posts, and it looks pretty good for the most part. You can see a little bit, if you look up close, you can see the markings from the brush I did a little bit. But yeah, overall, that's what it looks like. I did each side has its corner posts for this piece and the other small wall, and both of them kind of turn out the same. This is the tall side where it will have a window and then the door. And then this here is a small wall. There you go. And everything else. These I will be applying my Viterro to today. But before I do, I wanted to show you the other walls that I already went ahead and did. Last time I mentioned that when I was putting the marker on, there was something on the wood that just, I don't know really what it was. But today you'll be able to very clearly see that. See how it has, this is using Viterro Shadow Gray. I brushed it on over, and this is the outcome. Now, a lot of this discoloration down here that you see, kind of a weird shape, that was already on the wood. You couldn't see it before, but now the coloring's brought it out, and I think it actually added a highlight to the building, kind of like when you get an aged building. It has like weird pattern lines on it from fading or whatever, but this is kind of cool. So this is what the solid wall looks like with the blue-gray to it. I used the blue, the blue-gray. And then what I did is I took the shadow gray Viterro and I just went over it like this, grain-wise. And see how right there you can see all these little white lines? That's something that's in the wood, because there's some more here and whatever. So I think it gives it pretty cool character. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. And we're not done. I'm going to be adding a little bit of dry brushing to it tonight before we're through. So stay tuned for that. So here is a comparison of the before and after. So here's the this is the before and this is the after. Look how much better that turned out to be. I really like this alcohol marker. See, it doesn't look like it's working very well, but if you use a stain or a wash, look at what you can do. And all I did to turn it from here to here was Shadow Gray Vetero stain. That's it. So the only thing I've used so far was the alcohol marker and the tarot. That's it. Look how cool it is. And it has kind of a shine to it. Makes it. We're going to dial that down a little bit here in a minute before we get done. And I'm going to end the night. I'm not going to be, unfortunately, assembling anything tonight because I'm showing you steps of processes. If this is your first time doing an in-scale kit with the peel and stick stuff, I'm just going to show you how I do it so that you can learn to do it. It's not hard. It's just a process that I do. I can easily knock this kit out in a day with all this stuff. Very easy kit. So first off, what I want to do is I want to work on the walls, get those done, and then while those dry, I will jump over and show you how I take out the windows and get those all done. So let's jump on in. I'm going to, I didn't do this, but I would recommend you stain the walls before you put the end caps on. I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit, trying to do right, but make sure you do the walls and then attach your corner posts right before you put the walls together. And in fact, I did do that on the back side like that too. I still got to add this. I still got to add the support to this one. And I don't think I got one for this one, but because I'm staining it today, I did this one. It did very well. So I actually glued these up the other day. So all right, let's get and just remember, when you go and apply this stuff, don't have to do much. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it better. Alrighty. Let's bring it down into view here. There we go. I'm going to do it and then I'll show you kind of, this is not exactly dry brushing, but if you already did those sides, you might want to treat it as a dry brush. Take everything out as possible and then just add layer upon layer till you get to your consistency. But this is how I do it. I just take my brush, I dipped it into the tarot stain, and then I just come in and I just go let it seep down in between the cracks. See how it did that on its own? It's okay to brush over it all, but don't go entirely to the edge because it will absorb and it will bleed a little bit, and that's okay. But when you do it, You don't see how I'm running low. It's leaving that there. Just go ahead and dunk your brush back into the stain and come back. Just run it down and let it bleed into the cracks, and then kind of do a brush down motion, just like I'm doing here. And it's okay. You don't have to do all of it. If you're able to get the alcohol marker to get what you want, you don't have to go across all of it, because like this, it's going to be a solid color. But this is just I'm pushing the limits on this to see what I can do as far as how much is too much and how much is not enough. So yeah, this is kind of a cool little build. So all I'm gonna have to do here, because this is just like that, I'm just kind of dabbing it and pulling down. Look how easy this is. It absorbs immediately right into that. And don't let it run all the way down. You don't want it to run all the way down. Because then you'll get it onto your corner post. But now I'm just kind of brushing this in and letting it do its thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't make it perfect because I like building things with character, and character comes from not making it like it's built new, you know? All right, so one more wall here. Okay, and I always go with the grain, and the grain is where the lines are. So I'm just kind of going with it. And if you need to add more, you can add more later, but just try not to overdo it. In the end, no matter who you watch, who teaches you, whatever technique, you are the artist building your model. So don't let anybody tell you that you did it too much or did it this way or that should have been that way. You know, you are the artist. If you say that's what you were going for, that's not wrong. It's just they disagree with you, and that's okay, because they would have did it differently. And as long as it's stated that way, you're okay. Now, there you go. I managed to get all of that nice and clean. I even got that one done, and it's not okay. I didn't get it all the way to the edge, but that's okay. Up here, you see that there's that weird blip through it, like it is down here on this one. That's okay. I'm gonna let that sit a minute, and then while that dries, I'm gonna show you the method that I use to cut out the windows here. So push this up out of the way a little bit and bring this into the window. All right, what I do is they're already pre-lined. I'll show you the back, and I cut from the back side, just so you know. See how there's those lines around it? That's the laser cut. Well, if you get the blade right in that line, you will follow that line, and if you see if this comes in clear enough for you. There you go. See how there's not much you really have to cut? You really don't have to cut much. Everything's laser cut already. So you just get your knife in there and do what you got to do to get it out of there, but be gentle, because this stuff is very fragile, and I've broken some on other kits and whatnot. So It's not hard to do that. This is the last of the 4 windows. I have the other ones up there ready to go and be installed. So the next video is going to be the assembly of the structure and possibly the starting of the roof. I haven't really decided really how that is going to, whoops. And if you don't pay attention, you can break and snapshot things across your workbench very easy. So there's that. That one's all done. Get the garbage out of the way here. Then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to cut out the other one here. And you don't have to trace the line, but I do it just as a, because sometimes there's a residue in there that's preventing the piece to break apart or slide apart. And I just make sure that that line is all clean, has a clean cut. So just like that. And I just pull it away there. And then on the bottom, there's still a little sliver. So what we're going to do is just come down and just pop that off. And you have that. Get rid of the garbage. Next, do not remove, if you're not ready for install, but you want to get your windows done, do not remove this backing off the window itself. That is where the acetate will go. So only remove the backing from the actual window seal, because then this window will go right on top of that, and we're going to do that right now, and I'll show you what I do. So I take my knife. There's a peel and stick, and it's very hard to show you on camera, so you'll just have to use your imagination on this. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to do this up here, so I'm going to get it started, and then I'll show you how it looks coming off. All right. There we go. That way I don't break it. Okay, so what I did is I just took my knife. Come on, focus. There you go. You decided to do what you were supposed to do, camera. All right. And there, right here is the paper. That will peel back. So you just lift up with your knife very gently and get that to start to peel like a sticker. And you just peel that all the way off, just like that. That's all there it is to these windows and these siding pieces. That is all you have to do. Now, let's see. I got my tweezers here. This is how I put the windows on the back. These, especially in scale, can be tricky to get aligned, because if you don't get this part right, you're going to have a hard time getting them to go in to the walls and them sticking to the wall. So you got to pay attention to what you're doing here. So what I do is, because you got to have this evenly centered as possible, so that you have the outside of the facial trim will go against the wall. So for that, I just grab it right there under the thing, and then I just try to eye it as best as I can before I set it down, so there's less of a problem. And I'm going to take a quick gander at this real quick. Hey, that's not half bad for my first attempt. I'm getting better at this. You want to make the edge around that you set it on as even as possible. I'm going to hold it up with my tweezers and see if it will get you a good view. Okay, go this way. Will it work? And there you go. See how I've got it. I got to make a little bit of an adjustment, but that's the idea behind it. You got to leave a lip for it to attach to the wall. So let me make my quick adjustment, because once these set, you don't want them to sit too long without an adjustment, because the stickiness will adhere once it sits. And then you're going to have a nightmare trying to make it work. And I've had to glue some of these in before, and it was not fun. All right, so now you're good to go. And this is the window up close. Oops. Let's turn this around. There we go. That's the actual window and how they turned out. I'm pretty pleased with it. The alcohol marker is different. It's going to have a different look than acrylic paint, so you got to be prepared for that. So it's not bad. I kind of like it. You could paint, if you wanted to use a mix, I would suggest you could paint like maybe the windows white with a white acrylic, and then do the marker on the seal. That could be an alternative, but I'm doing it all kind of like a cabin style on this a little bit. So that's how I do my windows on this, and all that good stuff. This is the door frame that's going to go right down. Oops. Right down here. And everything. And I will have these already installed on the next video, but and kind of show you how they look and how they turned out. But if you are doing this kit and you want to jump ahead or whatever, it's just make sure you make your placement very easily right around that, because then this door right here, this door is also sticky backed. You can't, this kit only has 4 acetate windows. It does not come with more windows. So you can either do the door and not worry about one of the windows, or you can do all windows and then just put something over the door. But either way, all of these pieces are set with peel and stick backings. So that's how that's going to go. And this piece right here, let me zoom back, turn it over back down here. There we go. My camera arm is not wanting to work fully the way it's supposed to tonight, so pardon me. All right, so this piece right here is going to go on that right there. And it's just going to go kind of like the windows. It's just going to sit right on over it. And then it's going to go right here in this big square. Um, I'm going to end the video here shortly, and then I'll pick back up again for the assembly and the starting of the roof, or the trim work and the laying of the roof. But for now, I want to end this stuff here and bring. I'm going to show you how I do my weathering. I use my pigment chalk, and for that, I use this little, it's a brush I got. It's a number 2 flat. This is the brush I use right here. It's pink. I got it at Fred Meyer's. It was just a quick, $6 kit of brushes that had a lot of variety in them, and whatnot. So, but it's nice because it has it's not too stiff, but it's not too soft. And it's just short, flat. And what I like to do is, I think, now the theme on this is gray, so I'm going to stick with my gray pigment, I think. So I did my blue-gray alcohol. I did my shadow gray to weather it. Now I'm going to add my third layer, which is the pastel chalk. This is how I do it. I just add a little bit. Just kind of let it feather. Just kind of. I'll just put it on all of it, and then I'll just go around. And it kind of goes off the end and flickers it. And you can just kind of just like pepper it. Perfect. Now, got that done. Like the stain, I'm going to try going with the grain. Like this. With the lines. And it went from that, I'm going to add a little more to this wall. Just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to now, let's see if I can get you guys side by side here before I rub it in. So this side has had a little bit of chalk put to it. Just to lighten it a little bit, I put the gray on there. And see how you have some of the dark here with the specks on it? That is what it will be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this real quick. It gives it kind of it kind of makes it dull, it dampens the dark of it, but it brings the blue-gray and the stain a little bit lighter, but you filled the stain between. So you have that. And who cares if you got a little bit too much on one wall or the other? You know, you can always either A, leave it, or B, you can just redo it. I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm just looking and seeing kind of how it comes out, you know. This is a whole new process for me. This here did not get enough in there for the Vatero. So, what do? Boom. Grab my little brush here. Boom. And just let it seep in there. Let that sit there for a minute. I am done with that for tonight. All right, I'm gonna just use my brush. And then I'm gonna add I'm just gonna go over the whole thing a little bit more. Okay. And then boom, 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 boom. I just needed a little more of the shadow gray in there. It just didn't look right. And this is actually the front wall, so you want it to look pretty good. And you know, I mean, I'm not aiming for perfection, you know, but I want it close to what I want it because it is going to go on my layout eventually. I don't, you know, so far I can't complain about a whole lot. I mean, so here is what I've done. My lighting really sucks here, let me tell you. But it's brought out the highlights of the wood with the Vatero. It's got the markings of the wood, whatever it was prior, and then I did the weathering, the dry weathering with the chalk. It's actually made it not so dark, but it's kind of enlightened it a little bit. It's a little wet still, so it'll look good when done. It's kind of made it like a whitish gray faded look. I don't know if you can tell here or not on this one, but I'm loving whatever's in the wood. I'm loving whatever it turned out to be. It kind of reminds me of like a snail trail or something. But whatever's in the wood has made it turn out to be a pretty cool effect. So with that, that's where we're at on the build. We will pick up with the assembly on the next video. and move on from there. So we have the walls completed. They're all done. They're ready to go together. And when we come back, I'll have the doors and windows in. We will assemble it and we will install the roof cards. And then install the facial trim. So next time will be the assembly, installing the roof cards, the facial trim, and then I will do a last video finishing off the build with the rest of the roofing and kind of what I did. There is a little something that I will be putting on here. This is brotmans, and I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with the color for that. So this is brotmans Hobbies, which is going to go right. It's going to go I'm going to just be bold and just put it right on the side or something. I haven't really figured out what I want to do with that. The kit just has it right here. It shows him brotmans Hobbies right on that same side I want to put it on. Frank put it on the wood and then put it attached to that. I don't know. I may do something like that. I'll have to think on that. It's going to be one of the last details I do after it's all, after I, figure it out. That's a fine detail for me right now. That's the last thing I'm going to worry about, because that's just how I roll. It's not a major detail thing. So with that, thanks for watching, and join me next time for the assembly and the big start of the roof. And I will update us all on where we're at. So until then, be safe and enjoy whatever you're doing in your crafting world or modeling world. Big or small, enjoy it all. All right. Have a good day.